talk to you for a few seconds about improvisation and open tunings instead of focusing specifically on one riff. In the past, I think I've tried to get as much mileage as possible out of standard tuning, and then have used odd time signatures and dissonant voicings to sort of spice things up in an arrangement. With this band, I wanted the foundation of each composition to be as direct and simple as possible, and I also wanted to be economical with my own fingers on the instrument. So for Monotrope, I found a tuning. I'm not sure who invented this one. It might be a John Fahey tuning or a Sonic Youth tuning, but essentially from the bottom to the top it goes D, G, C, G, G, D, which has lots of room inherent for suspensions and interesting trills and legato patterns on open strings without putting yourself in a spot where you're going to sound out of tune. So I'll just play the tuning for you real quick. So open, we have D, G, C, G, G, D. Open tunings offer the advantage of anchoring yourself in one particular space and then improvising or exploring around that area. And you get all the added benefit of ringing, droning notes that can support whatever you're doing. So in this case, the 5th fret turned out to be a real sweet spot. And so there's a song on the record, it's the 2nd song, called Aileron Pair. And I had been listening to a lot of banjo music, sort of Malian desert blues, and also a lot of Hindustani and Carnatic music, and found these interesting, like, slow, expository, ascending passages that then mirrored themselves on the way down. And that's basically where the main riff from Aileron Pair came from, was anchoring on one spot, which in this case is a C, and you'll hear the hammer-on from the open G string onto the 5th fret, and then playing the rest of the strings open is in and of itself an awesome practice regimen, just as far as improvising goes. So. Essentially anchor your ring finger on the 5th fret and add in the tensions heading up the fingerboard, essentially. It's a nice sort of droning, meditative exploration of this open tuning. Now, once you start introducing typical guitar techniques like hammer-ons, trills, pull-offs, and slides, that's when things can get really interesting. I'm going to try and play from the 5th fret up each string using hammer-ons and pull-offs instead of just sort of strumming each time I change notes. And depending on how ambitious you want to get with your legato phrasing, you can actually get a lot of mileage out of one right hand plump, which I enjoy. I'll try to do something now heading up from the 5th fret all the way up towards the 12th fret, and yeah, it's possible it could go badly, but we'll see. That's the joy. And again, this is just hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, focusing mostly on 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th frets. place where I'm most able to be myself as a player instead of shoehorning in like licks or riffs that I'm trying to learn. I'd rather be equipped to kind of explore as far as I can go. So this guitar was built for me by my friend George Dragons, and it's tuned in some sort of strange droning tuning right now. And I'm going to show that we can use a lot of the same techniques that we used previously in this other tuning, and the tonality is totally different. So I'm going to anchor again probably right on the 5th fret. This could totally be out of tune. I was playing with it earlier. Don't recall exactly what I was doing, but anyway, I'm going to try and riff for a few seconds and we'll see what happens. So just to round things out with a quick recap, we talked about finding an open tuning. All the strings don't necessarily need to sound great together when you play the open strings like a chord, but they do need to generate some sort of tonality that's going to work for whatever kind of music or whatever kind of vibe you want to go for. Once you've gotten that tuning, anchor yourself somewhere on the fretboard where you can get a lot of mileage out of frets that are close together. Then instead of building up your speed with your right hand, use your left hand, hammer-ons, trills, pull-offs, and slides to add a degree of fluidity and expressiveness to your playing that you might not get otherwise. So, you know, at the very least, it's a good way to practice building up left-hand speed. It might work for a composition. It worked for me. Aileron Pair is on the new Monotrope record. Unifying Receiver just came out November 10th. So you can hear this style as the introduction to a composition that really the whole song is centered around this tuning. And actually there's 1 or 2 other songs on the record where I use this tuning, not in a soloing or an improvising context, but all of the tunes came out of improvising within this particular modality. So I hope this helps. Thanks, Gear Gods. Unifying Receiver came out on New Atlantis Records November 10th. Have a good day.